Since the beginning of Hollywood, people have been obsessed with celebrities and even more so celebrity relationships. Though it's a tough place to make a relationship work, the entertainment industry has a way of bringing some of the most iconic couples together. Today, we are going to take a look at some couples who met in the most uncanny ways, whether it was a blind date or a chance meeting through mutual friends. Stay tuned to see which celebrity couples were actually seeing other people when they met their significant others. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Who doesn't love a royal romance, especially one that seems straight from a fairy tale? Honestly, no other royal relationship follows a rom-com plot quite like the one between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Would you believe these two were actually set up by their friends? The pair had their first date in Toronto, Canada, where Megs was living, and Prince Harry was promoting the Invictus Games. It was actually Meghan's friend that set them up, and the only requirement Meg had was that her date had to be kind. As you might have guessed, the first date went off without a hitch, and the rest was literally history. The two tied the knot in 2018, and now we are all patiently waiting for their bundle of joy due in the spring of 2019. Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. They're one of the most beloved couples in Hollywood. Though they had a rough go at it while they were dating, in the end, Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel are legit Hollywood sweethearts. Though they have already stolen the hearts of millions, you'll fall even more in love with these two when you find out how they met. It all started back in 2007 when the couple met through mutual friends. Justin was newly single after dating Cameron Diaz for 4 years. Though it wasn't exactly a date, Justin was smitten with Jessica and asked his friend if he could have her number. What you might find shocking is the fact that Jess wasn't jumping at the chance to date the singer. Apparently, it took some major convincing on his end, but it seems to have all worked out in the end. Chris Hemsworth and Elsa Pataky. When you hear about whirlwind romances, they can sometimes be alarming. Jumping into things like marriage are always a huge deal, but don't tell that to Chris Hemsworth and Elsa Pataky. Though they only knew each other for 3 months before tying the knot, they knew they had found the one. That being said, it's a little shocking that they claim it wasn't exactly love at first sight. The couple was set up by a talent agent in 2010. The Thor actor admits that there was not a light bulb moment, but that being with her made sense. Don't worry though, they slipped in the romance while on vacation with their families. It was 3 months into the relationship when Elsa suggested they get married, so they did, right then and there with their families by their sides. Calvin Harris and Taylor Swift. When news got out that Calvin Harris and Taylor Swift were an item, everyone thought they were built to last. But if we know anything about Taylor's track record, we should have known it was going to end in flames. No, these two didn't last, but that doesn't mean the world wasn't obsessed with them while they were dating. And of course, their meeting story is just as cute as they are. Taylor and Calvin can thank their love of music for bringing them together. Apparently, they were connected at the 2015 Brit Awards, and Calvin was instantly head over heels. From then on, the two sparked dating rumors until it was eventually confirmed that they were in fact dating. Sadly, we all know how this one ended, and let's just say they now have bad blood. Joe Manganiello and Sofia Vergara. Seriously, is there another Hollywood power couple as attractive as Joe Manganiello and Sofia Vergara? Not only that, but they are uber talented, so it's no wonder that these two would be on each other's radars. We all know that everyone has celebrity crushes, but would you believe that Joe and Sofia were each other's celeb crushes? Joe confessed his admiration for Sofia to People magazine in the summer of 2014. The two had met briefly through friends at the White House earlier that year, and a particular picture of Joe hit the press. Let's just say he was admiring Sofia's goodies. Well, it turns out that Sofia may have seen the kind words Joe said about her in the magazine, and by the end of the month, she was single. Not long after that, she was on the arm of Joe Manganiello, and women's hearts around the world collectively broke. Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian. It was the love story of the decade, and everyone really wanted these two to work out. They all had their ups and downs, and we all watched their doomed relationship play out for the cameras. But did you ever know how Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian actually met? Their meeting should have been the first red flag that they weren't built to last, but of course, these two never listen. It all went down back in 2006 when the pair were partying in Mexico. During the party, they had a mutual friend who played Cupid and introduced the two. While their romance didn't actually last, they do have a beautiful family together. Josh Groban and Kat Dennings. Another couple that had everyone cheering them on was Josh Groban and Kat Dennings. This unlikely couple was so cute, we really wanted them to go the distance. Even their friends thought they were perfect for one another. That's probably why Kat Dennings' Two Broke Girls co-star Beth Bears set them up in the first place. That's right, Beth thought Kat and Josh would bond because of their similar nerdy personalities. Plus, there was the fact that Kat had a secret Twitter crush on the singer before they met, but as history would have it, these two didn't nearly last as long as everyone hoped. Thankfully, we all had 2 years of Josh Groban and Kat Dennings bliss to keep us entertained. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. There is no other celebrity couple like Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. The two are absolutely adorable, and we can't get over the way Ryan talks about Blake or the way they are always picking on each other on social media.
You are the best thing that has ever happened to me. Second only to this star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Seriously, they are the epitome of relationship goals. In true Ryan and Blake fashion, they also have the cutest meeting story ever. Okay, so they really met on the set of The Green Lantern, but they were both taken, so that doesn't count. It wasn't until they decided to go on a double blind date as friends that they realized they were much more. Instead of talking to their dates, they spent the night talking to one another. That was enough to light the spark, and they decided to give it a shot as more than just friends. Tom Brady and Gisele. Honestly, what's more cliche than a football star marrying a gorgeous model? We get it, you're both genetically gifted and rich and famous. Total borefest, right? Okay, we're kidding, because Tom Brady and Gisele are really stinking cute together. It's almost too much to handle. While that might be the case now, the two had a pretty controversial beginning. They met through a mutual friend, and it was love at first sight for Gisele. They sat and talked for 3 hours straight, and Gisele knew she didn't want the conversation to end. The one problem, Tom was already taken. While it ended in heartbreak for the other woman, Gisele and Tom have stood the test of time. They'll celebrate their 10th wedding anniversary in 2019. William Tell and Lauren Conrad. To be fair, Lauren Conrad and William Tell have one of the more low-key relationships on this list. By all accounts, they seem like an ordinary, loving couple that happen to also be famous. So how did these two meet? According to Lauren, they met for the first time when she was in high school. At the time, William was in a band and Lauren went to one of the concerts. If they had hit it off, we are pretty sure we would have seen their relationship play out on Laguna Beach. Nope, it wasn't until they were set up on a Valentine's Day blind date in 2013 that they saw fireworks. They wasted no time either, moving in together only 7 months later and getting engaged a month after that. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston. Can we have a moment of silence for Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston's relationship? Okay, we know it's been well over a decade since these two split, but we are still shook. They had it all, the fame, the looks, the fortune, but sadly that wasn't enough to make a relationship last in Hollywood. They were one of the biggest celebrity couples in the late 90s and early 2000s, so how exactly did these two actors meet? Well, it was one of the most entertainment industry setups ever. Brad and Jen went on their first date because they were set up by their agents. No, it isn't exactly romantic and almost seems like a PR stunt, but they made it work. That was until a saucy vixen named Angelina Jolie came into the picture. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith have been together for decades. Considering how famous they are and the nature of Hollywood relationships, this is relatively unheard of. Not only that, but they've been able to raise two of the coolest kids on the young Hollywood scene. How exactly did they start their iconic relationship? It all went down on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The two were pretty much set up by producers who cast Jada in a small role. The two took an instant liking to one another and started dating. The problem was, though, Will was still married to another woman. According to Jada, the marriage was pretty much over, and thankfully it's all water under the bridge these days. Rande Gerber and Cindy Crawford. If you were born in the 80s or early 90s, you are well aware of Cindy Crawford and her legendary modeling career. Now, if you were born in the 2000s or later, you are probably familiar with her gorgeous model children, Kaya and Presley Gerber. But did you know that their dad, Rande Gerber, was also a model? They are literally a model family. While Rande gave up his modeling career decades ago, he's become a hugely successful businessman. And just like a few others on this list, they were both with other people when they met. They met through Cindy's agent, who happened to be friends with Rande. Then, when they finally ditched their exes, they decided to give a relationship with each other a go. Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian. When it comes to celeb couples, we aren't sure who has had a rockier relationship than Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian. From the videos that prove Tristan has his eyes on other women to Khloe watching it all play out while she was pregnant, they have seriously had a rough go at it. So let's start from the beginning, because by now you know how it all ends. Khloe claims they met through a mutual friend who set them up on a blind date. The friend and NBA player Brandon Dennings thought Khloe would be perfect for Tristan. Not wanting to go on a blind date, Khloe actually brought a group of people along with her, and Brandon eventually showed up with Tristan. As luck would have it, they ended up totally connecting. But by now, we all know that it didn't really last. But that's a story for a whole nother video. with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. If you would have told us a decade ago that Emily Blunt and John Krasinski would get married, we'd laugh at you. No one would have ever put them together. Well, no one except for maybe a mutual friend of theirs. So the story goes that Emily and a friend were having dinner. While they were there, her friend stopped John, who also happened to be her friend. She called him over and introduced the two. According to Emily, he just stood at the table making jokes and making her laugh. We all know that's the way to a woman's heart after all. While it may not have been an actual date, it's a night that the two have never forgotten. Which celebrity couple do you think has the cutest blind date / setup story? Sound off in the comments section below. While you're at it, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the taco. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.